I want to talk about challenging fear foods. I hate to call them challenges because when we call it a challenge, I feel like then there's this idea of like, okay, I have this one event today, this one challenge that I'm going to really focus on. And what typically happens when we have this one event that we're focusing on is we prepare leading up to it and then we compensate or we try to make up for it or fix it later. And so when you're challenging, and maybe I need to think of another word, when you are addressing these foods that scare you, especially in quantities that you're not used to, you need to be really mindful of what am I doing before leading up to that and after. Because really all day, every day should be a challenge. You should wake up first thing in the morning and challenge yourself to something very scary. You should push the amount of food that you normally eat. You should ask yourself, do I want more? Rather than just having these set limits that you're allowing yourself to have. What I see clients do often, and they wonder or they question, like, why is this so torturous? Why is this not getting any easier? Why do I suddenly hate having to address fear foods and challenges? And the experience is that they are pushing themselves to eat a certain thing, and then they're tearing themselves up inside, beating themselves up like crazy that they maybe broke an egg roll, or they ate something they haven't had in forever, or maybe they going along with the rules, they ate earlier than they normally would have, but they felt hungry, so they challenged that. And then it's like this berating going on and on and on and on. I'm the worst person. I can't believe that I did that. How dare me? I'm never doing that again. I have to fix this. I need to make sure that I have a careful dinner later. And then if at lunch, I'm going to not have this sides that I usually do, and I'm going to be more careful that way. And then I can't sit the rest of the day. I need to be moving. I need to get up and do something. And the anxiety gets to them and they start acting and they give in to that anxiety to try to alleviate it because it's uncomfortable. And they wonder why they're not wanting to, jump out of bed in the morning and go after these fears. And that's why it's like you're punishing yourself for challenging these things. The people that I see that are fully committed are like, I'm going to look for every opportunity to tackle these fears. So when I first wake up in the morning, I'm going to have, a cinnamon roll and a glass of orange juice and 3 more cinnamon rolls and a bagel with cream cheese, whatever your fear, those were fear foods of mine, so it's coming to mind. Whatever your fear foods are, those are the things you're going to challenge. And then you're going to give yourself a pat on the back, tell Ed to just take a hike. And now today's an awesome day. I'm going to see what else I can challenge. The next time I eat, what am I going to have? Because I'm not going back to safe. Today's an awesome recovery day, and I'm going to challenge the next thing on my list. Okay, awesome. Now I'm eating this. Awesome. I'm not beating myself up over that anymore, and I'm rewarding myself by continuously to give into those cravings and to honor the things that I really, really, truly want to eat. I'm not being careful. I'm doing the opposite of careful. So when you start your day off with that, addressing those fears, I don't want you to punish yourself. Or let's say you're planning on a dinner. A lot of people are home with their families now, so they're trying to eat more family, oriented meals, sitting down with their family and eating. And what's happening though is that then they're not eating the rest of the day, or they're being really safe, and it's miserable, right? It's miserable. And then it leads up to this dinner and it's like, well, why does this feel like things aren't clicking? Why do I feel like I'm not making progress? You're not committed to eating unrestrictedly. Maybe for one meal, one tiny little part of the day you are, but if you're restricting before and after, you're not eating unrestrictedly. You're still restricting. You're not going to recover from a restrictive eating disorder. So the thing that I'm talking about here is not going to be super easy, but if you can change the way that you view it and you can turn it into kind of a game instead of, I'm going to abuse myself now in some way, shape, or form because I'm a moron and an idiot and I can't believe I gave in to this and I broke an egg roll, then yeah, I don't see you making great progress. If you change the way you think and say, I'm awesome, I'm so proud of myself, that was really hard for me, I haven't done that in a long, long time, I'm going to roll with this and I'm going to keep doing it all day long. And then recovery starts to feel exciting. Then it starts to feel like, oh, I see how this could work. I see how things could start kind of clicking and making sense. It's not that the anxiety's gone. It still feels scary and you'll still have fears of weight gain and fears of losing control, and all these fears will be there. But as you continuously kind of stay in this positive mindset towards it, that anxiety does eventually alleviate. As you give into it, compensate, restrict, beat yourself up over it, that anxiety will continue to escalate, and it's going to get harder and harder to tackle these fears. So I hope that this made sense to those listening. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And please act on this advice that I'm giving you and tell me if it makes it better. Tell me if you notice a difference or a mental shift in the way that you're thinking and viewing as you tackle these fears about food or quantities or times a day, or there's a million different rules that everyone has and everyone's different in that way. But whatever it is for you, tell me when you start to think of it in a positive way and applaud yourself and tell yourself you're awesome rather than you suck and you're the worst because you're not listening to your eating disorder. Tell me if you notice a difference, because I'd be curious to hear about it. Okay, have a good day.